I was on a road trip in Italy with my family a few summers ago. And we were cruising through and I noticed that the gas was getting a little bit empty. So we'd been driving for a few hours already. I pulled into a gas station on the road, literally in the middle of nowhere. And my wife, Heather, said, "Hey, why don't you go in and grab a cup of coffee? I see you're getting a little tired." Absolutely. So I walked into the gas station, walked up to the counter, and I asked in the middle of nowhere at this gas station for a cup of coffee to go. Literally, the lady looked at me like I was crazy. She's like, "You want it carry out?" And I was like, "Yeah, a cup of coffee." And then I was like, why is she looking at me like that? So I turned to my right and I noticed that on the counter, all the way going down, were about 4 or 5 other people slowly sipping their tiny little ceramic mugs of espresso. And it hit me in that moment. Oh my goodness. The reason why she looked at me like I was crazy that I was going to take this tiny little shot of espresso to go is because I wouldn't savor it like I was supposed to. Every single person in that gas station had stopped their day. Why? To savor the flavor of the espresso. So I said, never mind, I'll have it for here. And I waited and she made my little cup of espresso and I went and stood next to the old man at the gas station and I slowly sipped my espresso and I savored it. And guess what? It took me about 90 seconds. If we don't have 90 seconds to stop and savor a cup of coffee, we are moving way too fast. It's become almost impossible to savor things. Why? Because savoring takes singular focus. When you savor something, you've got to focus on just that thing. If you think about it, you can't savor 2 things at one time. You've got to be singularly focused. One of the things that so many of us do, myself included, is we watch TV while we're holding a little TV or a little screen in our hands. I think it's called like second screening or dual screening or something like that. There's, I'm sure, a scientific word for it. But inevitably, what that does is it allows us to not be able to savor what it is that we're watching. Right? How many times do you have to stop and rewind whatever you're watching on Netflix because you got pulled away from something that was on Facebook or X? What if we truly stopped multitasking, not for the sake of not getting things done, but for the sake of savoring? Now, yes, slowing down and savoring something right in front of you is vital and it's important. But did you know that there's such thing as anticipatory savoring? What do I mean by that? Well, for instance, my wife and I were supposed to go on this trip to New Zealand to go fly fishing. And guess what I did for 2 months after I found out about the trip? I started looking up what the mountains were going to look like. I started imagining what it was going to feel like to have that 24-inch rainbow trout at the end of my line as I'm pulling it back in on these beautiful Chronicles of Narnia looking rivers. I was anticipating what the savoring was going to look like. Here's the kicker. We didn't actually get to go on this trip. But do you know what I actually got to do? I got to savor a trip that I didn't even go on. And now I'm looking forward to going even more in the future. You can not only savor in the moment, but you can savor something that is coming as well. Listen, I get it. We all want to get things done. We've got things to do. We want to feel a lot really fast. But what if I told you that the best way to live, the best way to truly experience this incredible life on the other side of our screens is to slow down and to savor?